帕比斯维丁。
Hello, Mr. Moon.
Oh, greetings. Any luck removing some more of those demiguise statues?
I actually have some moons for you.
Dear me, you have been busy. Incredible, thank you. You're ready for the final Alahamora lesson. With this knowledge, no lock shall ever stand in your way. You have done all I asked. I only wish I knew who put those statues everywhere in the first place. Alas. If you do find more, please feel free to remove them. You'll be doing your caretaker a huge service. And if I ever find out who the bully is behind this cruel trick, I shall let you know. Thank you once again for your assistance and tenacity.
Yes.
Now that you've mastered Alahamora, no lock is unbreakable. But do feel free to keep finding demiguise statues and removing those moons.
Okay. 寻找帕比斯维丁啊，来自巨龙的盘问。红米村，3根扫帚在这。哎，居然怎么没点到 ？OK， 这里。
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
I'm sure you had your reasons, but breaking into Alfred Lawley's home wasn't the brightest idea.
Over here.
Lumos. This is a change of pace from our last outing.
Don't remind me. The thought of that tent still makes my blood boil. I've been thinking about those poor dragons in the fighting ring. The collars they were wearing, they appeared to be goblin silver. I think a collar is precisely what we found at that poacher camp. I've never known poachers to use anything like that before.
The dragon that attacked my carriage was wearing the collar, and Professor Fig was genuinely baffled by its behavior.
That attack always did strike me as a little strange, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Surely you aren't suggesting that the collars somehow control the poor creatures?
Exactly.
Merlin, I don't think the dragon we set free was wearing a collar, but we should check. And if we can find her, we can return her egg.
That's a good idea. We need to see this through.
I'll start looking into it right away. There was something else that I wanted to discuss with you. I didn't want to press it before. It seems I may have caused you more trouble with Victor Rookwood. Why is he after you?
Rookwood is working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig had asked that I not speak of it yet.
Goodness. Well, that certainly helps to shed light on what we saw at the tent. Don't worry, I'll guard your secret as if it were my own. I shan't press for more details. In fact, I should probably be going. I'd like to track that dragon down as soon as I can. I'll let you know when I have news of her location.
这样是要等他的联络欸。
Revelio.
他喝这杯怎么没有偶的？这应该是可以快转吧？这边 是有其他的小支线，但是我觉得。
I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those demiguise moons. He's in Hogsmeade, apparently. Perhaps I shall pay him a visit.
Good. 这应该也是一个刚才的任务。月亮背后的男人。
Anyone care enough to remove my demiguise statues?
Pardon me, sir, but about those curious demiguise statues I've seen.
What? Who are you? Why do you ask?
They're causing Mr. Moon terrible distress.
Ha! Good. That was the idea.
So you did create them?
Yes, I did. It was a ploy to give that pathetic oaf Moon a taste of the grief he caused me years ago. You are the one who's been pilfering them.
I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl on your stationery.
Ah, well, fitting Moon would enlist a student. Too cowardly to do it himself. Hasn't changed a bit. Even when we were at school, he was a cowardly bully. Gave me a horrible nickname, which I shan't repeat. I was thrilled when we left school and he seemed gone for good. Then I started seeing him around Hogsmeade. It was too much. Even if I do take satisfaction in that his life's destiny was to be a lowly caretaker.
Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues.
I know. You should have seen his face when that boggart appeared. Oh, priceless. That's when I knew what I needed to do. I simply didn't want to encounter him anymore. So, I shrewdly put a boggart in his path to learn his greatest fear. I then created the demiguise statues to keep him in his place, so to speak. The moons were inspired play on his name. It worked brilliantly. Until you started clearing them out.
Sounds as if Mr. Moon deserved what he got. But perhaps it's time you both moved on.
Fair point, I suppose. If they've terrified him, as you say, he may have learned his lesson.
Hogwarts. 图书馆，它不是图书馆这里的吗？这里的呼噜宴是哪一个？从这里过。
Thank you kindly for letting us race your...
Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. was a classmate of yours that you bullied, Piers Pemberton.
Oh, I might have known. Pigtails Piers.
I don't think he likes being called that.
Of course he does. Oh, he had such flowing locks, and we used to laugh about them. I laughed the hardest of all. Clever, clever man. I'd no idea he was so devious. I must go and congratulate him. Whatever statues remain seem less terrifying now that I know they were put out by old pigtails. Continue collecting them if you like. As for me, I'm gonna go and pay a visit to my old friend.
月亮背后的男人。怎么还没收到帕比的消息嘞？再快准一天。哎，他们两位是破冰啦，但是帕比的任务不知道为什么开不了，那没差，破黑人的任务。哎，塞巴斯汀还有一个，还先找塞巴斯汀，算了没啦，先找女黑人，保守秘密。
On another adventure, are we?
So frustrating. You wanted to speak with me, Mother?
I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai.
Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful? Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an arrow telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you. And she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well-intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating.
Frustrating.
She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me. I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the Highlands rather freely until now, much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month, then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight, then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no. A person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now.
That may be safe, but I do not believe that it would be best. Do you? You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Ranrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Rookwood and Harlow, not hide from them. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
这任务就这样。然后去找塞巴斯汀。
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
You'll never believe what I've learned.
What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium?
Salazar Slytherin's spellbook was a little difficult to interpret, but fascinating. Evidently, he encouraged teaching dark magic at Hogwarts. Neither the Imperious Curse nor the Killing Curse was unforgivable during his time. He believed students should be prepared to use dark magic when necessary, not to fear it. That's why we had to use Crucio to gain access to the scriptorium. He didn't want his knowledge shared with anyone who was afraid of the power of dark magic.
我还蛮赞同的。
It was hard to do, but casting Crucio was our only option.
And I'm glad we did it, because in the spellbook I also found something else. References to a lost relic, which, from what I can tell, grants the holder the power to reverse dark magic curses.
And you think this relic might be able to save Anne?
Precisely. I plan to search for this relic, but I don't think we should tell anyone. Especially Ominous. He wouldn't understand.
无法理解，我跟他讲啊。好，如果害到他，我们应该告诉奥米尼斯，我什么也不会说的。
I see no reason to involve Ominous.
I'm glad you agree. When I know more, I shall send an owl. And don't feel sorry for Ominous. Keeping this to ourselves for now is for his own good.
I'll decide what's for my own good.
Ominous, We were just about to get some air. Care to join?
You're a liar, Sebastian. I heard everything. You swore you'd never engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
No, I didn't. I said I understood you wanting that. I'd never swear to give up on finding a cure for Anne.
You don't know when to stop, do you?
I know when not to stop. Leave this alone, Ominous. I'll be on my way.
I am not letting this go.
Ominous, Sebastian meant well.
I know what I heard. You knew I wouldn't agree with this. Going after that relic is not a good idea. Sebastian doesn't even realize it, but he's as irresponsible and reckless now as his parents were years ago. It's why they died.
I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Sallow were professors. Spent nearly every waking moment in the cellar library. Noses buried in books. Anne and Sebastian were upstairs when it happened. They heard a sudden crash and ran downstairs, but it was too late. Their parents had crumpled to the floor. A defect with the lamp in the cellar caused the room to fill with an undetectable toxin. Sebastian and Anne were helpless. They had no magic yet.
What a horrible story.
It is. That's why I can't understand Sebastian's recklessness. I've practically lost Anne. I cannot lose Sebastian too. Please avoid anything to do with that spellbook.
其实他讲的也有道理耶，这要怎么选啊？
Those references in the book seem promising.
Everything to do with Salazar Slytherin seems promising until it's too late. I hope Sebastian pursues this no further, but if you think he might, please let me know. It would mean a lot.
Revelio.
这都只是谈话，没有任何推进。完成卫斯理教授的作业。先完成这个，先去抓宝。操，这地方。
How nice to see you, my young friend.
I've never seen a sword like it.
I should investigate.
Levioso! Descendo! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Revelio!
行尸？不是啊。
Levioso!
Everything's all right now.
Revelio!
刚才抓到是公的还是母的？ 母
Levioso.
Settle yourself. I mean you no harm.
Yes. 另外一只，这个位置。
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
What the hell?
Places. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Crucio. Descendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Levioso. Repulso. Glacius. Incendio. Defender. Glacius. Incendio. Defender. Accio. Levioso. Repulso. Confringo. Protego. Expelliarmus. Stupefy. Repulso. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Levioso. Glacius. Defender. Accio. Incendi. Descendo. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Repulso. Revelio.
紫色巨蝉。What the fuck?
Confringo. Incendio. Defender. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Levioso. Repulso. Incendio. Defender. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Incendio. Defender. Glacius. Leviosa. Windbreaker. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Defender. Glacius. Revelio. Leviosa. Repulsor. Leviosa. Assignment's all finished. Revelio. Leviosa. I'll look after you.
Son. What the fuck?
Excellent work today. Class dismissed.
Ugh. Can't say I'm terribly fond of all the dung in this class.
I take it you're ready to learn.
I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now.
Good. Now, this spell comes with a caveat. It should only be used when necessary. The exploding charm, as you might suspect, can hurt people. Use caution when casting it.
I will, Professor.
I will hold you to that promise. Now, you must be precise in your wand movements. We don't want you blowing your hand off. Go ahead. Nice and steady wand movements. Remember, the exploding charm is highly volatile. Well done. Now, let us put it into practice, shall we?
5个攻击咒，这个。哇，这个也是指正结束。
Go ahead and try it on the pumpkins.
Bombarda.
Excellent wand work. Cast the spell just like that every time. Assured and in control.
Professor, might I have a moment?
Yes. What is it?
I was wondering what inspired your interest in magical beasts.
Are you considering some sort of profession in the field?
I haven't decided quite yet, but I do find magical beasts fascinating.
You do seem to engage well with the beasts in class. I believe that when choosing a path, particularly of a scholarly nature, one must take into account both one's enthusiasm for a particular subject, as well as how one may best serve the students to whom one is obligated to both inspire and teach.
Of course, Professor. When did your path become clear?
I recall it quite vividly. It was the summer between my 6th and 7th years. I read in the Prophet about a wizard who'd been selling alchemy eggs and disappeared in the mountains near my home. I knew of the alchemy, of course, from my studies, but they are native to lands east of here, such as India. I wondered if it was possible that an alchemy could be so nearby. Hence, I went to find it.
What type of beast is an alchemy?
It is a spectacular beast. A feathered, winged serpent-like creature that can grow or shrink to fit a particular space. Its eggs are made of pure silver, hence the desire to trade in them.
Seems quite a challenge finding an alchemy in the mountains.
It was. After a few days, during which my parents grew increasingly annoyed at my absence, I found what little remained of the wizard egg trader. He was near a tree hollow, and there, inside, was a nest with 7 silver alchemy eggs.
What did you do with them?
Nothing. Beasts are to be valued for what they can provide for wizard kind. Protective clothing, potion ingredients, even wand cores. Only poachers see the value in ending a beast's life for galleons. I left the eggs alone. I hid, and moments later, the beast flew right over my head. Breathtaking. She then seemed to all but disappear as she shrunk to fit into the hollow.
That sounds incredible.
Indeed. I knew in that moment that I needed to understand all that I could about beasts, and ensure that wizard kind learned to benefit properly from them. Now, I trust that I have answered your question. You would do well to continue your study of beasts, regardless of your chosen path. Beasts and all that they provide will vastly improve your life, and perhaps one day even save it.
I shall remember that, Professor. Thank you. Bombarder!
Excellent. You have it well in hand.
骑兽学老师叫我攻击者，不知道该讲什么。下岗 ，What the fuck， 在哪里啊？
Revelio. So this is the underground harbor. Revelio.
说在这里，但是在哪里嘞？
Have you ever noticed them? Revelio. That book Professor Weasley asked me to find should be around here somewhere.
Looking for the book Intermediate Transfiguration.
难得到，你怎么知道？
Professor Weasley asked me to, get something from that book. May I have it?
Did she now? I'll give you this book if you humour me by answering a few questions from my quiz.
Quiz?
Some people call bits of knowledge trivia. I would argue that no knowledge is trivial. Hence, I have created a small quiz, just for fun, focusing mainly on the lore of the wizarding world. None of the other students will try it, no matter how many times I ask. They all say they have enough with schoolwork. Ugh, they don't value knowledge the way I do. Surely you're interested. I'll even start you off with a few of my easiest questions.
A quiz sounds like fun.
Splendid! Just a few questions and then I'll hand over this book. Let us begin. Before the invention of the golden snitch, which magical creature was used in a game of Quidditch?
The golden snidget.
Correct! The snidget was first introduced to Quidditch in 1269 by a wizard named Barbarous Bragg. Sadly, they're thought to be extinct. Next question. Which potion is commonly referred to as liquid luck?
Liquid luck.
Felix Felicis.
Well done.
乱猜。
Since it makes the drinker temporarily lucky, Felix Felicis is a banned substance in all organized competitions. The tale of the three brothers involves which magical artifacts?
三兄弟的故事。死神生物灵体。三兄弟是谁啊？灵体。
The Deathly Hallows.
Correct. According to Beedle the Bard, the Deathly Hallows consists of the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Cloak of Invisibility. Which ball in Quidditch is the largest?
伯格吧。
The Bludger.
I'm sorry, but the correct answer was the Quaffle. When a chaser throws the Quaffle through one of 3 hoops in a Quidditch match, their team is awarded 10 points. True or false? Polyjuice Potion allows the drinker to change species.
False.
Correct. While Polyjuice Potion can be used to change things such as age or race, it cannot be used to change species. Well, I suppose this has gone on long enough. I'll put the book back on the pedestal now. If you're inclined to test your knowledge again, I have plenty more questions I could ask you. And I won't be giving you any more easy questions either. The next ones will be more difficult.
I'd like to answer more questions.
What governmental body directly preceded the Ministry of Magic?
The International Confederation of Wizards.
No, that's incorrect. The answer was the Wizards' Council. The Wizards' Council disbanded in 1707 after the creation of the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy, which required a more structured government to support its enforcement. Which dragon breed is the smallest?
The Antipodean Opali.
No, I'm sorry, but the answer was the Peruvian Vipertooth. Though the Vipertooth is the smallest breed, averaging at around 15 feet in length, it is also the fastest breed and feared for its venomous fangs. Who founded the village of Hogsmeade?
Hengist of Woodcroft.
That's right! It is believed that Hengist used the Three Broomsticks Inn as his home. The hide-behind was accidentally created by crossbreeding a ghoul with what other magical creature?
A demiguise.
Yes! While the hide-behind has the power of invisibility, those who have seen it have described it as a tall, thin monkey with silver hair. What is the only spell known to repel a Lethifold?
The Patronus charm.
Well done. The only known survivor of a Lethifold attack was a wizard named Flavius Belby, who was on holiday in Papua New Guinea at the time. Who published the law of elemental transfiguration?
Gamp.
That's it! One of the principal exceptions to Gamp's law is that food cannot be conjured, though it can be summoned. What does the Hogwarts motto translate to?
Knowledge is the real magic.
No, the answer was, never tickle a sleeping dragon. In Latin, the Hogwarts motto is Draco Dormiens Numquam Titilandus. Which magical creature is the only one known to produce eggs through its mouth?
The Ashwinder.
That's incorrect. The correct answer was the Rune's Paw. According to Parselmouths, each of the Rune's Paw's 3 heads serves a different function. The left head is the planner, the middle is the dreamer, and the right is the critic. Where is Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry located?
Mount Greylock.
Well done! The American school was founded in the 17th century by Isolde Sayre and James Stewart. What is the most powerful love potion known to wizard kind?
Amatentia.
That's the answer. Amatentia smells differently to every person, according to what they find attractive. Such as dusty book covers, or... Are you interested in continuing on to the next round? They're my most difficult questions.
I don't have time for another quiz at the moment.
That's fine. Come and find me if you'd like to try later. I put the book back on the pedestal for you.
Revelio ought to make quick work of this.
Revelio.
As long as these tasks are complete, I should attend Transfiguration.
变性学。西塔吧。
Revelio.
If someone gets struck by a cursed broom, we do our bits, yeah.
I wish the headmaster would retire.
I heard Professor Weasley transfigured the book with all her test answers into an
Revelio.
owl to stop students from cheating.
Taking owls a bit too literally, if you ask me.
Hello, Gareth. So, has your aunt been taking it a bit easier on you lately?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, a few days ago, she gave me a detention. I was only testing a new recipe in a mostly empty classroom, and the fire was put out quick enough.
You don't create anything worthwhile without setting a few things on fire.
Agreed. Innovators like us are unappreciated in our time. Can't let the doubters sway me. When they taste my latest brew, they'll forget their criticisms and the fires. It'll be bigger than butterbeer. Oh, that gives me an idea. Better write it down. Best of luck to you.
Revelio.
Thank you again for retrieving that Murmush artifact for me. Fascinating. Truly fascinating. Did I tell you I've been in touch with the Ministry about the artifact? Still haven't heard back.
Settle down, settle down. Transfiguration, as you may be weary of hearing me say, is an exact science that can take a lifetime to master. But we needn't be daunted. Almost anything can be transformed if you can just perceive the potential within it. As I see in all of you, tremendous witches and wizards, every one of you. Or it could just be my eyesight. Now, you all know what to do. Beautifully done.
Let's see.为什么不能跟帕比讲话了 ？bug 吗？再读档一次。没跟帕比讲的话，没送。57分，再来一次。快转。
Now, you all know what to do. Beautifully done.
You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor?
I did. You seem to have had no trouble in getting up to speed, and frankly, excelling in your schoolwork this year.
Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful.
As I suspected they would be. Now, it seems you've been making good use of the opportunities presented by your field guide. Of course, the guide isn't the only measure of success. I've heard that you were able to grow a venomous tentacula. Growing such a magical plant is an accomplishment of which you can be quite proud.
Thank you, Professor.
I will say I'm especially impressed with all you've accomplished in light of the rumors of your extracurricular activities. Were your meetings with Professor Black's house elf and exploration of various caves down by the lake connected in any way to Professor Fig?
No.
Professor Fig has encouraged me to explore when I can in an effort to complete my field guide.
I see. I admire your penchant for learning, but do remember that your classwork and field guide are designed to educate you thoroughly. It'll be the end of the year in no time, and you'll want to be well prepared for your OWLs. I'll provide a final assessment at that time to ensure that you're ready for your exams. Until then, well done. You are dismissed.
Yes.亲爱的卫斯理教授，现金吗？我觉得。
Hello, Adelaide. How are you and your uncle doing?
Very well, thanks to you. The more I learn about Ranrock's foul lot, the more astounded I am that my uncle survived. I looked back over his old owls and noticed that they included pertinent details about his rare metal deposits. I believe that Ranrock's fiends were after those deposits and that they needed my uncle's knowledge. He was willingly going to rot away in that cell to keep me safe.
Any other pertinent details about those owls?
Plenty. Uncle Roland couldn't be certain, but he thought he overheard goblins talking about infusing something into goblin silver. He wasn't sure what they meant, but something about the way they spoke of it made his skin crawl. It's clear you saved my uncle from a very bad lot.
It was nothing at all, Adelaide. I'm just glad your uncle's safe.
So am I. Seeing him again was such a relief. I told him that he must remain vigilant from now on. I, for one, can't help but look over my shoulder now whenever I leave the castle grounds.
It's my puppy.帕比斯线下还是过不了，只能等一下喽。Mission。阿密特探探，妖精。哦，这两个。我觉得先这样吧。这边先做一个小分段，然后破这个妖精任务，然 再来是塞巴斯蒂安。